Let's do human reproduction questions. The seminiferous tubules are lined by male germ cells and Sertoli cells and Leydig cells, male germ cells and Leydig cells, Leydig cells and male germ cells. So, seminiferous tubules are lined by two types of cells. One is called male germ cells, other is called Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells are also act as nursing cells which provide nutrition to the developing sperm cells, and male germ cells from which sperm cells are derived. Ejaculatory duct is formed by two ducts. One is called vas deferens, other is called duct of seminal vesicle. So first option itself is correct. Let's go for the 53. Which of the following hormones are produced by ovaries? So which of the following hormones are produced by ovaries? We have to select. First option is HCG, HPL, estrogen, progesterone. So HCG and HPL are secreted by placenta only during pregnancy. Placenta act as temporary endocrine gland, and it secretes HCG, HPL, relaxin and all other hormones. But here they are asking about ovaries. So ovary do not secrete HCG, HPL. Talking about second option, estrogen, progesterone, FSH, LH. So FSH and LH are secreted by anterior pituitary. Okay, it is not secreted by ovaries. Let's talk about third option, estrogen, progesterone, relaxin, oxytocin. Oxytocin is not secreted by ovaries, it is secreted by posterior pituitary, also called neurohypophysis, but actually it is secreted by hypothalamus. It is synthesized in hypothalamus and is just temporarily stored or crowded in posterior pituitary. Okay, so these three options are eliminated. The last option, estrogen, progesterone, relaxin, inhibin. Yes, relaxin is secreted during pregnancy by ovaries and also by placenta. Structures that help in the collection of ovum. So ovum is actually secreted from the ovaries by ovulation. It is secreted. It comes out of the ovaries by the process called ovulation. The first option says fimbria of ampulla, no. Fimbria of isthmus, no. Fimbria of infundibulum. Infundibulum is funnel-like structures that covers the ovaries during ovulation. Finger-like structures are called fimbriae, and they collect the ovulated ovum. Right, this ovum is collected by the fimbriae, and fimbriae is funnel-shaped structure. Fimbriae is finger-like. Infundibulum is funnel-like. So what are the parts of fallopian tube? Infundibulum. First one is infundibulum, which is close to the ovaries, and it has finger-like structures, fimbriae, that collects the ovum after ovulation. Right. The next structure of a fallopian tube is ampulla, where fertilization takes place. Okay, and the third structure is nothing but isthmus. Okay. Talking about gonadotropin releasing hormone. Gonadotropin releasing hormone is synthesized by, gonadotropin releasing hormone is synthesized by hypothalamus. Okay, but gonadotropins like FSH and LH, they are synthesized by anterior pituitary in response to the gonadotropin releasing hormone, that is GnRH, we write short form. Okay, gonadotropin releasing hormone. So this hormone gives signal to the anterior pituitary to produce gonadotropins like LH and FSH. So the correct option is option 3. Okay, now let's talk about the follicle, which is characterized by the fluid filled cavity, antrum. So antrum is the fluid filled cavity. It is characteristic of tertiary follicle. So the correct option is option 3. Now talking about the next question, LH and FSH are synthesized by, as I already said, it is synthesized by anterior pituitary, that is adenohypophysis, other name for anterior pituitary. So option 1 is correct. Yes, option 1 is correct. So moving on to the 58th question. Statement 1 says corpus luteum is formed in all females following ovulation. In all females following ovulation. So it is correct. Okay, so it is correct statement. Statement 1 says that corpus luteum is formed in all females following ovulation. Yes, so it is correct. It is correct that corpus luteum, it forms corpus luteum is formed after ovulation in all females. Yes, it is formed in all females. In the absence of fertilization, corpus luteum degenerates. Yes, it happens in all females, and it is perfectly true. So both statements are correct. Option 1 goes right. Next, total number of chromosomes present in the zygote. So total number of chromosomes present in the zygote. Sorry for the interruption. Total number of chromosomes present in the zygote is, because zygote is a diploid, because it is formed by haploid sperm and haploid ovum. So it is a diploid structure. Okay, so 22N means 46 chromosomes, or you can say 23 pairs. And talking about secondary oocyte is haploid, so it is having 23 chromosomes. Okay, 23 chromosomes. Okay, which of the following statement is not correctly related to the determination of sex of the baby? So which of the following is not correct? So it is asking not correct. So scientifically it is correct to say that the sex of the baby is determined by the father and not by the mother. Yes, because the male produces two different types of gametes. One is XX and the other is male produces two different kinds of gametes. One is X and other is Y. So if female X is always X, female ovum is always X, so when it fuses with sperm carrying X chromosome, it will become a female child. Okay, and if the X ovum is always in having X gene, okay, and the sperm can have X and Y. If Y fuses with X, then what forms? A baby boy is formed. Okay, it's a male sex chromosome. Okay, so father produces two different types and mother produces a single type. All the haploid gametes produced by the female ova have the sex chromosome X. Yes, the zygote carrying XS would develop into a male baby and XY would develop into a female. See, XX develop into female baby, okay, and XY develop into male baby. These symbols are to denote female and male, that's it. So this XX will develop into female, XY into male. So this is called male heterogamety. We'll study in genetics. So this is important. So this is the wrong one. So option, it is asking about not correct. So 60 is option 3. Fourth is in the male gamete sperms, the sex chromosome could be either X or Y. Hence 50% of the sperms carry the X chromosome while 50% carry the Y chromosome. Absolutely correct. So but our option is 3. Which of the following hormone is not secreted by placenta? So oxytocin is not secreted by placenta. HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, human placental lactogen and placental estrogen is secreted by placenta, but oxytocin is not secreted by placenta. It is secreted, actually it is synthesized by hypothalamus, but it is stored in posterior pituitary, also called neurohypophysis. Okay, now in the given animals which is having maximum average gestation period, so maximum average gestation period is seen in the largest terrestrial animal, that is your favorite Hathi Raja, that is elephant. Okay, so elephant shows maximum gestation period. Alright, fetal ejection reflex is developed by fully developed fetal placenta. So option 1 is correct. This option is very funny. Okay, colostrum, the yellowish fluid secreted by the mother during the initial days of lactation, is very essential for the to impart immunity to the newborn because it contains IgA antibodies. So IgA antibodies through milk baby gets through colostrum, and this is helpful for developing immunity of the baby, imparting immunity to the baby. And during gestation, what happens? Through the placenta, IgG antibodies enter into the fetus, and it also imparts immunity to the fetus. India was amongst the first countries in the world to initiate action plans program at the national level to retain total reproductive health as a social goal. These programs are called family planning program. It was initiated in 1951. See, in 1971, medical termination of pregnancy, MTP, was legalized in 1971. Okay, now a fetal sex determination test based on the chromosomal pattern in the amniotic fluid surrounding the developing embryo is banned. It is known as amniocentesis, in which the sum of the amniotic fluid is collected and checked for the chromosomes, but it is not for the diagnosis of the sex of the baby. Because of a large number of female feticide, this was banned, and then later the high technology equipments like X-ray scan, CT scan, ultrasounds are developed, so this is completely banned. Okay, let's talk about and related with population explosion, the world population, which was around dash billion in 1900, so it was 2 billion in 1900, is given in your NCERT also. So what are the possible reasons for the population explosion in India? So what is the possible reason? See, a rapid decline in death rate, yes, it is correct. Decline in maternal mortality rate, yes. Infant mortality rate, yes. So more than one option, fourth option is correct. Lactational amenorrhea means absence of menstruation. Method is based on the fact that the ovulation and therefore the cycle do not occur during the period of intense lactation following parturition. This method has been reported to be effective only up to a maximum period of dash months following parturition, only up to 6 months. Okay, only up to 6 months, and it is not in all females, only in few females it occurs. In many females there is a normal ovulation and menstruation cycles. In which year Government of India legalized MTP with some strict conditions to avoid misuse? So it is 1971 legalized. Okay. Which of the following STDs can also be transmitted by sharing of injectable needles, surgical instruments, etc. with the infected person's transfusions of blood or from the infected mother to fetus? It is clearly talking about AIDS. It is clearly talking about AIDS, and it also occurs in hepatitis B. Okay, hepatitis B and AIDS. So option 3 is correct. 71 is 3. The remaining that is herpes, which is caused by HSV, herpes simplex virus. Herpes is caused by herpes simplex virus. Chlamydiasis. These are sexually transmitted. All are sexually transmitted, but AIDS is also transmitted by sharing injectable needles, surgical instruments that are infected, that are not sterilized, and also from infected persons, and also by transfusion of blood. Okay, let's talk about the zygote. So zygote, the early embryo with up to dash blastomeres could then be transferred into the fallopian tube. ZIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer embryos with the dash then 8 blastomere into the uterus. So it is saying that the zygote or early embryos with up to 8 blastomeres are transferred into fallopian tube, and more than 8 blastomeres are transferred into uterus. So option 1 goes correct, right? So let me clarify that zygote up to 8 blastomeres, it is transferred into fallopian tube. Okay, fallopian tube, and more than 8 blastomeres, it is transferred into uterus. Okay, this is transferred into uterus. Match the following sexually transmitted disease with their respect causative agent and just select the correct option. Gonorrhea is caused by Neisseria gonorrhoeae. Syphilis is caused by Treponema pallidum. Genital warts is caused by human papilloma virus. AIDS by HIV. So it's a PYQ also, previous year question, so very important. Gonorrhea, Neisseria gonorrhoeae. A is 2. Okay, so first option goes correct. Syphilis, Treponema pallidum. C is 3. Genital warts 4. Human papilloma virus. And AIDS, HIV. In which of the following groups the respiration takes place only with the help of lungs? Only with the help of lungs. So that is completely terrestrial, like we, reptiles, birds, mammals. 24 is 4. Okay, this option is correct. In humans, the respiratory or exchange part of the respiratory system includes. In humans, respiratory or exchange part of the respiratory system includes, starting with the external nostrils up to the terminal bronchioles. Terminal bronchioles. The alveoli and the ducts. Starting from terminal bronchioles up to the alveoli. Starting from external nostrils up to the alveoli. So, the correct option is the alveoli and the ducts. What it is saying is respiratory or exchange part of the respiratory system. That is the outer part only. Sorry, it is the exchange part where the actual exchange of gases takes place, that is alveoli. Alveoli and the ducts where actual what happens where actual exchange takes place. This question is from respiration. It is also important.